and just have fun together. So I'm excited to be here tonight. It was nice to hear all the new tunes in the funk show, and looking forward to more tunes rolling in.
Oh, I'm sure Ank's gonna keep them coming, and we're gonna keep bringing community members that are worth of making songs for them. Indeed, AI is making things easier, but the prompt, it really matters. It's like it's not just spinning out songs just because. It's like embracing and loving every community member the way that they need to be recognized and loved because they just rock and we recognize it. Anxious sees and executes accordingly. So we got nothing to do other than to grow the family and grow the playlist as we do so. But happy to hear that your energy is refreshed, renewed. Talking about the art of collaboration, friendships. Friends always have that magic to bring us up, to lift the moods, to bring us memories, to make us have a good time. So I'm excited for it. Alrighty, Jason. While we get maybe hopping onto the stage, I'll let okay, maybe this up in the stage. Ladies first. Maybe you can bring your smile right now. Excited to listen to your voice again. How are you doing today? Happy Tuesday. And maybe while you say hello, get us started with one reminder of what it means for you, the art of collaboration.
Oh, thank you so much, Senior Choice. It's so good to be here. I'm happy to be here. Smiling, yes. I'm not sure if you asked me to answer the first question, but I'm going to go ahead. Um, for me, the art of collaboration, personally, it means that somebody has my back and I have their back, and we are united in whatever we want to achieve in that moment or over time, but we are on the same page of where we want to get to. So that's for me personally. Thank you. It's an honor to be here as always. Thank you for the lovely welcome. And yeah, that's me.
Also, maybe thank you for bringing your smiles always. And that was pure wisdom. It's what our community has been retweeting, and it's a fact. It's over here in the cult of awesomeness, we know that we care for the one next to us, but that person next to us also cares for us, and we all want everyone in here to succeed. The support, the love, it's all felt by everybody who's joining, everybody who's showing up, everybody who's putting in the hours and the time, which is one of the most valuable assets. So thank you for being here, for kickstarting us with that beautiful definition of the art of collaboration and how it matters. I'm gonna pass it to Jay, which is co-hosting. Welcome, Jay. How are you doing today, my man?
Hey everybody, I'm doing good, man. Been a very busy day. Back to back to back to back meetings all day long. Just got off one right now. Talking of collaborations, I think this one's going to be very special for us. And you'll very likely see us sharing multiple spaces. That was the one that I've just had with Pixpel. Um, and their desire to help indie games in non-gated, innovative ways. So yes, we're going to be, I think, very good friends with the good folks from Pixpel. It was a fantastic meeting we just had, and yeah, I'll be looking to help connect them with a lot of projects that could do with collaboration there as well.
I love to hear Jason. It feels like yeah, all of the small connections that we make, all of they become meaningful and beautiful things flourish afterwards. It's starting on conversations, sometimes on the spaces, sometimes on threads, but then when it leads to those one-on-one calls, magic is just happening. I've been sharing some spaces with Juan and with Mariela, and I see their passion, their vision, their mission. I've seen them being recognized worldwide, and it only makes sense to do things with them because they rock and they really understand what this industry is here for. I think that they also share the dream of using the tech and communities to back projects the right way. So I'm excited for that. cooperation. Thank you for dropping the alpha and for keeping us in the loop. I've been also hopping on some calls myself, and I just can't wait to keep bringing more communities, more projects, different games, and people as well. You know, the ones on ones always bring excellent vibes and amazing people. Had some chats with strong community members from Nigeria, some others coming from Southeast Asia, but we keep cooking, you know. And I love the fact that as a whole in our project, everybody is, you know, always pulling forward, even though sometimes we might not even be aware of it, but we're all moving the pieces. Like, hey, what are the guys? They're probably pushing forward one way or another, and it just keeps me so bullish. And knowing that we're gonna expand that network, keep connecting with awesome people. Like, see, big shout out to Tommy on the audience. He's an amazing guy from Portugal. He's been building connections in the space for long too. Like, it's beautiful to see this space thriving and growing. I think Mr. Consul is going to be joining us too in a few seconds. But I'm going to pass it to Unks. Unks, today you're going to be part of the stage. You are hosting from the OSP account. Maybe you can kickstart us too with your approach to collaboration when building across multiple communities, NGOs, guilds, Web3 projects, DeFi, AI. What is it that matters for you when building collaboration in our space?
Well, in the first consideration for collaboration, and hello everybody, in particular, hello Mrs. Funk. Hello. Hello, Mrs. Funk. Are you there, Mrs. Funk? Hello.
Sorry, I was not aware that two people can have their mic on at the same time. I thought you allow the person to speak through their sentences, and then when you ask to speak, you speak. I was just being
Yeah, no, that's
polite.
only if you're polite. Yeah, yeah.
Hello, Uncle Frank. Hello, hello. Over and out.
Yeah, I got roasted twice tonight. So, before I talk about collaboration, I got to tell you, Mrs. Funk nailed me with a good one earlier. You know, I played that clip on the Funk show. Then it says I was trapped in a woman's body for 9 months, and I was like, I asked her, so you know, as a this amazing wife, and etc. etc. What is it like being married to a man who's so in touch with the female emotion? And she's like, well, maybe spend a bit longer than 9 months in the woman's body. Very good, very good.
She got you right there, Alex. You see?
Yeah.
This girl frog, female power.
Yeah, no, she roasted me like Rafiki says, like a Sunday sheep. Okay, well,
It's like, okay, on
on
that point, yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
yes.
On that point, I have to keep up with your sense of humor, right? So I
Yes.
have to bring in the funny.
Yes, you do. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Mandy's so worried that people think she's dishonoring me because she's such a awesome wife.
Oh,
I don't think.
well done, Mandy. You should have mentioned his fear to horseflies too.
There's horseflies, yeah. Yo, everybody in South Africa fears horseflies. Those things, I mean, if that thing nails you, it sounds like the bottom of a milkshake. Just anyway, okay. So on the subject of collaboration, so building across multiple communities, I'll start off with what is pointless, which I think people do naively. Is it is pointless trying to collaborate with competitive people or competitive communities, not communities that are necessarily competition for you. Competition is healthy, but people who are competitive by nature, because they won't really be interested in collaborating with you. They'll be more interested in recruiting you. So when you work with communities that are a lot less competitive, and they're more collaborative. The conversations that they will have, you'll hear that there's a revelation and understanding of that we've got to get all the water up so that all the boats can rise. But most of them, if they feel intimidated by you or your community, and they feel that your community is too much of a draw for their community, they won't collaborate with you. So it's important, number one, to collaborate with people who have a much bigger worldview, and to collaborate with people who share your values. Like, you don't want to be in partnerships and collaborations with people who have got a completely different value system. Our values are wholesome, so we don't want to be in collaboration with communities that are, blatantly whatever, perverted or exploitative, where we see our community as a as the reason for our drive. We'd like to prosper our community. A lot of other founders and projects want to treat their communities like exit liquidity, which means they would see your project as exit liquidity. So you don't want to endanger your community. So it's very important to vet them. So in the same way, on the NGO side of things, you want to make sure that you are not exposing your community to dangerous and extractive personality types, people who are narcissistic. Even when we deal with VC, people who want to invest in the game stuff, we are pretty blatant about the fact that we don't put up with narcissism. We protect our community. This isn't a pyramid scheme where people at the top, most corporate companies and communities, and it shouldn't be this way in Web3, but it still is. That's still a pyramid. There's still, a couple of people at the top making more money than everybody at the bottom. There isn't a meritocracy. They pretend it's a democracy and they use words like DAO. It's decentralized. And there's an autonomous. We're all voting, and it's a lie. It's not real. So what is effective is if the entire project focuses on the community. And so we collaborate with our community. Our goal is not to have a $1 billion company, but a $1 billion community. Can we create the opportunities, the mechanisms, the marketplace, the game, the NFTs, the tokens to have 1,000 people becoming millionaires? Can we, or 10,000 people having $100,000, or 100,000 people having $10,000? Can we pull that off? That's the question that we ask. So when we collaborate, we want to collaborate with people who have the same vision. And so if you want to effectively collaborate with people, you've got to make sure that they speak the same language that you do, that they have the same heart that you do. You don't want to let wolves in amongst your sheep. You want to bring in more shepherds, people who are looking after their flock nicely, that if they hang out with you, they're going to respect and honor your flock as well.
Love it, Unks. Mic drop right there. You always have the perfect way to put it together. Alrighty, I'm gonna go to Mrs. Funk to catch up with it and keep up with you. I want to ask her, in terms of teamwork and partnerships, what are the partnerships or collaborations that help you overcome challenges in the journey from the NGO side?
Okay, so you get many different collaborations and partnerships, not just financial. So obviously every entity needs finances to grow and expand and to thrive and survive. However, the people are actually the biggest commodity. like Uncle Funk was saying, you know, having people around you with the right, with the same value system, and who are carefully treating each other with respect, and then the collaboration there would be the day to day, you know, what gets you through each day. It's actually the team around you. I've said it in the past that unity commands blessing, and it really does. When people are walking together, working together, like Mavis said earlier, when they have each other's backs, you know, when you know that when you leave the room, that you're safe in everybody's mouths. So in the NGO, the collaboration is the thriving off of each other, even when times are tough and finances aren't flowing like they could be. We build each other and we live with each other. It's like, be will like this one. We've got our own little hive.
Love it. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thanks for the community to share the feedback. I think that my microphone is giving a headache again, but I hope that you all can hear me. Thank you for the answer. Thank you for your commitment every
Perfect.
Tuesday.
Your mic sounds brilliant, man. It sounds
Okay.
great. Excellent. Best ever.
Love to hear that, Angs. Thank you. Appreciate it. I was a little bit concerned. Alrighty, I'm gonna pass it to Mavis because aside from loving her energy and her smile on her voice, she's always bringing amazing takes. Like she's so eloquent. I'm like, wow, and she cooks delicious meals. Like she's indeed the full pack. So Mavis, for your mission, what do you think makes a good partnership or a good partner, and how has it been working with the rest of the people that comes over from different places in the world to support from time to time? Um, how is that impacting? How is that vision of I work as a team versus I work alone working out on the NGO?
Oh, wow. Thank you, Senior Choice. Way to make me blush before I answer. Thank you very much. Um, before I dive into your question, all I could think of was the story of Moses. I don't know if people are familiar with it, but Moses had Aaron and Hur holding his arms when he was praying, when he couldn't do it anymore. They did not try and take Moses's place, you know, and that's teamwork. That's like how we have each other's back on the ground here in the NGO, like with people who come over from overseas, like missionaries from everywhere. Like we're also missionaries as well, but everybody finds their place and where they fit in and their strengths. So like obviously I have the strength of cooking for everybody, but I don't have the strength of cleaning up afterwards. And one of my sisters, we big family, she loves cleaning, and she knows I can be in the kitchen from 6 to 6. I don't mind. I can cook a storm. When it comes to cleaning up, I get tired. And then she comes in and does it for me, like, because we're doing the same thing. And like Mrs. Funk runs the finances. She knows all Mavis needs is the amount that she needs. And then she makes that happen. And it just makes teamwork makes the dream work. It doesn't make it heavy. When you look at it from the other side, it's like, how can they get this done? How can you possibly do all of this? How can you feed 1,000 people? It's teamwork. It's having every single person who comes in do what they love doing and what they're very good at, and everybody just does what they're good at, and we lift each other up. And when the other one is tired, you sometimes compromise, because it's not always where everyone is now just doing what they're very good at and what they love. Sometimes you're going to compromise and even do what you don't love, because now one of you is not there, or one of you is not feeling well, or one of you had something else going on. So yeah, I hope I answered your question in all of that. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you, Senior Joyce.
Thanks to you, Mavis. Appreciate you for bringing the take. It's always great to listen to all of the wisdom that comes from all the teamwork and cooperation that you've done on the NGO side. So thank you. Appreciate you big time. I'm gonna pass it back to Ongs. I know that he already broke down most of the questions that I had for him because he laid down all of the vision behind partnering or cooperating with others, especially in our Web3 space where there are lots of walls around. But I will ask him this way: what keeps you a believer on cooperation over competition is the way for our industry, Web3 gaming, blockchain technology integrated with metaverses and worlds thrive and succeed?
Uh, um, a responsibility, a sense of responsibility. Actually, look, Web3 in general has been misrepresented by the gold rush. So people kind of associate Web3, crypto, NFTs with, that initial big push, even like game development, where people just stole money. They just used that wave to plunder, and create absolutely meaningless things, meaningless tokens, meaningless NFTs, stuff that had no value whatsoever. So, like, I arrived in Web3 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, when it was already it was at the end of that mega bull run. And so I was born in the bear, like Bane was born in the dark, and this whole project was born in the bear market.
It has been born in the bear
The
market, but
thing,
we hear to bulls and bears. I'm sorry, I cut off for a moment. I'll give it back to Youngs.
You're cutting if you can hear Uncle Funk.
Yeah, I definitely cannot hear Onks. He was on his stream of consciousness, and I was like, okay, he stopped. Oh, let's try for him to reconnect or something so that he can get back on the microphone. But no, 100%. I think that he was going to the right place. Web3 is full of a lot of collaborations that often don't make sense. You know, in all of those calls that I often jumped on, the one-on-ones with either representatives from other gaming studios or Web3 projects, uh, it's always a vetting going on. It's not just a vetting on the person, but the intentions. Sometimes I've seen amazing people working for sharks, working for wolves, and you're like, oh boy, I wish that this guy was working with the right team because connecting with this person is amazing. But you know that if you push a connection there, you're exposing your community to the wolves. And like Ank said, we gotta keep our family safe. And it's just so tricky sometimes. But there are times when the whole team is aligned, when the whole project's really shared a vision, a passion, and still we're putting things at stake because when we vouching for someone, when we partner with someone, we're saying and we're telling our community and their community, hey, we can unite forces to chase the same dream. By the way, shout out to Bowling Coach. I'm gonna send him an invite to hop on in the stage. We're talking about collaboration, and this is one of the recent ones that just bloom out of spaces and stages. And he's just so handsome and amazing that we gotta bring him up if he's got the bandwidth to join us too. But yes, it's not easy to bet partnerships in this space. And as I was saying, not all of them will make sense. I've been here for like 4 years, 5 years now. 2 years in one project, 2 years another. Now I don't want to move homes no more. I want to continue working with that project that is gonna be here to stay. And I'm so happy that I found it. I'm like, finally, like Unks has been building for 3 years, Operation Safe Place. Jason had been pushing me for years as well. Now the merger came together and it was just magic happening. And it only made sense. That's why things got together fast and smooth. But finding those cooperations where we really embrace communities in the right way and we don't expose people, like we had game nights with different communities, we vibe with them, we go to their server, we rock with them, we bring them home with us and rock with them. It's cooperation over competition what allows for projects and new eyeballs to come, new people to understand what we're doing, what we are approaching, what we're building in here. I see Coach Ballin is in the state. Welcome, legend. Welcome.
Oh, yo, 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 yo. Hi, everybody. I was listening and I agree with what you said about um, trying to find people that have similar values because if you're gonna, like, so I have a community of people that I've kind of built and they trust that I'm going to look out for them. And so if I'm partnering with projects that are just trying to use our community for exit liquidity or to benefit from them somehow, that's not beneficial. But when I find the why for people and why people do things, that tells me a lot more about if there's a way to try to find a partnership, right, Senor?
Yes, sir. That's
Like
exactly.
if there's no mutual why, then even though like people be like, well, you're a basketball quote unquote like basketball brand, you token with a NFT project, why what it makes no sense for you to, you know, gaming, that's a different element, it's a different world. But when you find the why behind what people are doing and that it's bigger, and that's what I always tell people about basketball. It's like what we're doing is bigger than basketball. Like we're impacting lives and kids and families and people and communities and changing literally. I'm not the type that just says things that aren't literal. I literally know that we're literally changing lives and changing the world for the better. And it might be small. We might be the first ripple in the pond that ripples out to change the entire world. But right now, I like to dream big, but act small. Like start with the people around you. Love, serve, care about the people around you, and those people will multiply. It'll grow. Jesus never worried about how many people he was preaching to. And that's something that I tell myself when sometimes it's me, I'll start a space and I'm thinking that I'm gonna have all these people show up and they're all gonna be mesmerized by my words and we're gonna have an amazing time. And one other person shows up, but I still show up. I mean, I don't, just because I don't, it's not like, it's not the biggest space or the biggest community. That doesn't matter. Like, I'm gonna try to bring positive energy. I'm gonna try to like help other people where I'm at, not or where they're at, not necessarily where I'm at. Like help them where they're at. Meet people where they're at. And so I just the mission when Uncle shared with me the video, Mrs. Funk, of you and your children. I am a father and I just have a huge heart for people are that think bigger than themselves. And that's one thing that I love about basketball is I feel like it's a unifier. And seeing your beautiful daughter jump on the stream the other day, I'm just looking at pictures of cartoon characters now. I'm not seeing real people, just so everybody knows where I'm speaking from. But when you see people and the joy and the love in their eyes, this summer we had a basketball. So my basketball team, Grit, had a pair of brothers, and you look at them and you would say they're not brothers, But if you were to ask them, or if they had to swear on everything that they know, are they brothers? They're brothers, but one of them was adopted, and he played on my younger grit team, and his older brother, who's white, was on my older team, but the little brother was adopted from Africa. And the most amazing people, and those are the people that I recruit for my teams that I coach, are good people and good parents. And obviously I want good players, but it's a bigger thing. If I'm going to have my kids, my son, my daughter around these teams that I'm coaching, I want good people. I want good kids. I want good families. And this family, the Zimmerman family, has the most beautiful family. They have 2 adopted children and 2 biological children. And they're phenomenal people. But that sort of reminded me of when I saw Uncle on the stream the other day, and his daughter brought him, I think it was a Kit Kat, maybe,
Yeah, it was a
but
Kit Kat.
it was a Kit Kat. That doesn't matter at all in the story, but it was beautiful. That the timing, I guess, the timing of that is what makes it beautiful. That it doesn't matter there's a Kit Kat, but Uncle was craving some candy, and his daughter, I don't know, whenever my daughter's 7, and she's nonverbal, and she's nonverbal, but her smile, when she laughs, it says volumes. It speaks more than some people speak in a lifetime when she laughs. And the joy in her eyes when you can tell that she feels. And sometimes people think that non-speaking means non-feeling, and that's so not true. My daughter has big feelings and is emotional, and she gets frustrated because she can't communicate like atypical, like, I try not to say normal person, because my daughter is not wrong. And when people say I hope they can fix her, I want to say, well, my daughter doesn't need to be fixed. My daughter doesn't speak, but she does a lot of things that, I mean, I digress a little bit, but yeah, I thought that was beautiful, Mrs. Funk, and I saw the video of you talking a little bit about the nonprofit, or the organization, and what you guys are doing, and I'm for it. I'm a supporter, and I want to do what I can with my platform. I don't necessarily want a lot of money. I want a lot of influence, to where when I see an injustice, or when I see something not the way it should be, I can put a hurt on that thing, whether that's by resources or influence, or a friend that knows somebody that can put a stop to that. I want to do what I can and stand with those that do. And so I'm not a video guy. Nintendo friend's house. That was the only video game I had. Computer growing up. When I found the computer, played Oregon Trail, which was at work, came on screen. It was not you guys have been able to do with such limited funding and time. It's amazing. Shit that would have taken $1 million. You guys are just, it's just amazing. It's mind babbling, and I'm babbling. It's mind boggling, and I am babbling, and I apologize for coming in and just rambling, but I am passionate about what you guys are doing, and will do what I can to help. And yeah, so thanks for letting me share a little bit. I mean, and my community is people from all over the world, Nigeria to the UK. I'm in the United States. but of America choice is a fellow American. My fellow not North American, like my Canadian friends,
I'm like a Pablo
but
Escobar
no,
American.
America. Like I don't know, like I don't. But people are like Brant. You should. That's my real name is Brant. They're like Brant. You should run for like office or something. And I'm like, I don't want to. I don't. Why would I want to run for like? Why would I want to do that? Like because and when people start saying, well, you could make a change, I'm like, no, you're thinking that I'm thinking the wrong thing, because what I'm thinking is that I'm thinking bigger than what you're thinking. I'm thinking about global universal domination, not just state office, not just county seat, not mayor of my community that I live in. I want to work with people that are not necessarily that live right where I live, but people that think like I think, that think a little differently, that think outside the box, that think a little bit more creative. And so that's why I wouldn't want to run for mayor or governor or state senator. That plus I got a lot of dirt. Plus there's some girls that I didn't call back that I think I told I was going to call back. So that's part of the reason why I don't think I'll ever run for any type of political position. Senor.
Oh, Coach, I appreciate you being here, dropping so much, opening up so much towards our community. I love the fact that we got to collaborate like on a matter of weeks, and then we're spinning the metaverse version of the bowling game and the boss that is gonna be defeated with basketball balls, and we
I can't
bowling,
wait.
man. Yeah, I can't wait as well. But it's that, man. It's the fact that you get to vibe with people on deeper levels. Like you can feel that connection. Like I jump into these one-on-one calls often, again, teams or just person representing teams, and you can tell the wolves from the sheepherds. You can tell the ones that come with the good intentions and the ones like, oh no, I'm building a casino and we're gonna extract from community and then I'm gonna live the lavish lifestyle because that's my dream. I'm like, okay, wait, I'm not gonna be pushing any further with this specific profile of person because I know that it's gonna ruin not just his community but ours too.
Right. And people talk about Lambos, like I'm good. Like I don't need a Lambo. Like I don't need material things to be happy. One of my favorite things is seeing other people that haven't learned yet that material things are temporary and gifting them with something that they would think would be impossible for me to gift them because it has like value to other people that seems very high, but to me is not that valuable because it can be gone
Love it,
quickly.
coach.
So
Yeah, that's the way.
am I rugged?
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
But no, I like to collect things. So I have a lot of coins from all over the world. I do have some from South Africa. I have them from my favorite coin. I'll just share with this, Mrs. Funk, because it has a lot of significance to me. It's from Australia, the Perth Mint. It's a swan. It's the swan. It's a silver coin. It's made of silver, but the significance is so much more significant than just the silver that it was printed from. To me, the value is because it's a 2018. To me, 2018 is significant more than most years because it was the year that my daughter was born. So it's a 2018 Perth Mint Swan. I spent 6 months of my life in Perth, well, right near Perth in Australia. And so that carries meaning. But the swan is what my daughter's kind of grouped with because SWAN is an acronym for syndrome without a name. So that my daughter's condition is so rare and so newly discovered that they haven't put a name to it yet because they couldn't test for this gene issue until about 10, 12 years ago. So her genetic issue is known as a SWAN. Syndrome without a name is the acronym. And so this coin carries a lot of value to me, more so than other coins that I have that I might be able to swap for more US dollars. And people don't value things that matter enough or as much, but there's a lot of significance in that 1 ounce of silver, and it's from Australia. But my Cougaran is from South Africa, and I need to look through my other coins because I don't know if I have anything from Colombia. Senor,
I
what
can
country
send
are
you
you
out with
from?
some coffee. I can send coffee
What
anytime.
country are
Just have
you
to DM
from?
me.
Are you
Colombia.
Colombian?
Yes, sir.
So if you shipped me cocaine or not, did I say cocaine? Whoa, is this a, I'm joking because that's what your country is famous for besides coffee and coins. What type of coins? What denominations of coins
Oh
are
no,
readily
we
available?
got pesos here, but they are so we talk
Pesos.
about millions, but they are worth nothing. Like you cannot even buy a motorbike with 1 million. It's insane.
Pesos.
Yeah, but these pesos over here, coach. No, I appreciate you big time. I'm gonna connect you with
Thanks for
some
letting me
of
share.
our community members. Like we got the Midnight Cats lady. She's got a daughter with same conditions. So I'm gonna summon her to our Telegram group chat. You guys for
Yeah,
sure will.
introduce me. I love talking about kids that are uniquely abled, and yeah, definitely, I would be happy to connect with anybody that
Awesome,
has
Valley Coach. And
that
I can't wait
hobby.
until you actually take the time to fly over South Africa and teach these kids how to play proper basketball. So
I would
we're
love
rallying
to
right there.
visit. I would love to visit South Africa. Um,
Amazing.
that would be the history of the country fascinating, and I don't know enough about it. And I feel a little. I love to learn history when I'm in the place where the history is happening, and that's where I would love to be able to see more about just the apartheid. And um, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about what I do know is limited, but I believe, at least what I think, is Nelson Mandela, the political prisoner, was released, and when he was released to be free, he was like president. Like he like became president soon after being released from prison or something. Is there anybody that knows more about that that could just share a little bit?
Yes, well, while he was imprisoned, he did a lot of studies. I think he actually studied to become a lawyer or something in prison. But he came out a very learned gentleman, and he carried peace. So
Yes.
he was the perfect person to transition the country from apartheid into a peaceful union of equal rights. And that
Yes.
peace still holds in the country because he was the one to do the transition. So he is a very respected, still respected person.
Is he does he have children? Does Nelson Mandela have, is there any type of legacy, or is, has he passed on those
He's,
qualities to his children?
I don't actually know what his children do. I don't know
That's
if
interesting.
Uncle Frank knows.
I could Google that or chat GPT it, but it'd be interesting to see what the lineage is with him.
Well, unfortunately, most of that is it's massive corruption and scandal and, and plunder
Dang.
and
There is a lot of that to be had, but maybe, I mean, just to think that he was so, even the people that were horrible to him, he wanted to have rights. And I feel like that's amazing to be, well, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, just to be imprisoned and to get released and not to have hostility, that's that's hard.
Yeah, look, I
That's
mean,
hard to
Nelson Mandela and a lot of the guys who were imprisoned or exiled, they came back and they didn't answer evil with evil, you know.
That's amazing.
But as
Yeah.
it's just standard with any revolutionary movement, there's literally never been a revolutionary movement that was able to govern properly ever in the history of mankind. Never, not once. So generally, you have a revolutionary movement taking over, and then it's a lot of folks who've suffered most of their lives now suddenly having positions of power. A lot of them will be educated, but they're already kind of tired. You know, I'm not talking about the corrupt. I'm just talking about the best of the best. You know, they're already exhausted by a lifetime of suffering, and that breakthrough, you know, it might be a great position, but what you need next is an administration that is focused administratively. You know, so
Right.
South Africa is doing well in that we're a young democracy. I mean, it's been 30 odd years. And there has been a lot of corruption, blah blah blah, which is standard for any kind of revolutionary movement taking power. But our country, our people are doing well in that they're starting to cry out for more responsible governance. So the kind of political parties and people in power that are starting to come to the fore are very administrative in nature. You know, they're more driven by admin than other things. So I mean, we see the potential for that future. But yes, Nelson Mandela, he impacted a lot of lives even while he was in prison.
Right.
When he came out of prison, he was I think he'd settled a lot of the stuff in his mind in how he was going to facilitate change in such a way that it didn't fail like every single other African nation when the colonizers either were driven out or handed over the reins to the native population. So, and he did that very wisely by making it a collaborative government, and that kind of just bringing us back to the actual subject of this space. The key to collaboration is really to find your allies amongst the enemies. You were quoting Jesus earlier, and there's another quote that he does. Says, "Whoever is not against you is for you," and you can very quickly see who is not against you, who's not against your principles, just by speaking about them. Just by sharing often what you stand for, because you will find that there are people you would never expect who would actually be on your side, which is what we saw with the Nelson Mandela coming out of prison and finding that there were actually a lot of white folks who were really on his side. That referendum was the vast majority of South Africa voted yes, give black people the vote. And it's like, I saw this terrible debate happening on Quora, where they were talking about, the slavery history in the United States. And the one guy said, listen, man, like many white folks laid their lives down. So where you're looking for enemies, there are allies. There are allies everywhere. Where you just see enemies everywhere, there are more allies than you think. There are more people for you than against you. And I think in general, when you want to build a community, especially in Web3, you have to realize that there are lots of bad actors. Yes, which is what I was saying just now before I got rug. Was, you know, the instruction that I got when I came into Web3 was from this very good mentor, Leon Abud. He said, just go and climb into as many spaces as you can. Like, try and be on 100 spaces. That's your first assignment. So I jumped on as many X spaces, Twitter spaces, and it was brutal, man, because I jumped up on stage. I had no idea what I was talking about. Those people up on stage were horrible. I mean, I developed a hatred for Web3 and degens that I cannot even verbalize properly. It took Joey and the team to really convince me year after year to stay, because I thought these people are all evil. And then slowly but surely, you find allies amongst them. You find that a lot of people are just trapped in that cycle. You know, that's why we jokingly call ourselves the cult of awesomeness, because all of Web3 are cults. It's full on personality cults, mostly led by narcissists and opportunists and extractors. You know, so you kind of have to come to the conclusion that there are great people amongst this evil. You know, there are great people amongst the apartheid crowd. There's great people amongst the, you know, Africa's got a savage history, man. And you know, just going into a place and seeing a lot of African people jumping up and down and tires burning and, you know, violence, whatever, then assuming, okay, well, all black people are like that. It's incorrect. You go in and you look for the individuals, and that's really the key to collaboration in its purest art form, is finding who you resonate with and looking for the resonation, not the you know, not the stigma. Yes, most stigma is earned, but look for the individual. And this is actually where I want Mrs. Funk to just talk about, you know, some of her best friends and people she respects most are up in Africa. I think her and Mavis are very potentially going to go and serve at a conference in Ghana, I think, Elavi. Where are you guys going? I think it's
Yes, it's Ghana, Accra.
Yeah, so I think maybe, you know, in light of the, you know, the white black thing, because it's such a fun subject, um, you know, like I asked Mandy, oh, you're going up there as a speaker? Because, you know, I'm thinking, why does she want to go to Ghana? No, she's going there to serve. She's going to go and look after the speakers. I'm like, what? Like, just explain, you know, how you know, the how and why you choose to collaborate with these people from Ghana, you know, because I love the way you explain their impact on you.
Okay, well, I met them. I met them in America through our investor, co-partner, co-founder on Only Believe, when we went there to present the Only Believe game, and I just connected with them on such a level, like they really saw who I am. Not everybody always sees who you are, like truly who you are, and see you. Like, one of my favorite parts in the movie Avatar is when, I don't know if it's her tells, where she tells him or he tells her, I see you. You know, to be really, when people see you, you shine your best. It's like, I believe we all have a light within us. We just have to let it shine. But when we're around certain people, it will shine if they see it. But if they don't, they dim the light in you. So that's for me, you know, it's like they would tell me things like, oh, we're going to miss you now, or we miss you already, or celebrate me. They really celebrated me. I mean, they invited me to sit on stage in their press conferences. They just met me the day before. Like, they immediately elevated me to same status as them. And it's just being seen. That's so for me, I want to be with people who celebrate me. So I will travel to Africa to go and serve people because they make me feel so good because they celebrate me.
That is exactly how collaboration works. It's are they putting up with you? Are they tolerating you? Or do they actually celebrate you? And do they celebrate what you do? And this is a question for Mavis. I mean, Mavis has been here in our ecosystem, in the NGO on the ground, building like crazy for years, not weeks, not months, years. And through hard times, good times, money, no money. It's very, the NGO life is tough. It's like really, really tough. And I want to ask Mavis, I mean, it's reverse, with Mandy. Mandy and Mavis go everywhere together, by the way. So, Mavis, I mean, you're from Zimbabwe. We're white South Africans. Like, why the heck do you consider us family?
Oh my goodness. Um, because I feel seen, funny enough. I feel loved with my flaws, and yeah, as much as I'm elevated and loved, I'm not perfect. But even though I'm not perfect, I feel loved, I feel seen, I feel like we resonate at the same frequency, like we for each other in this family, and taken care of. And despite everything that might not be great, it's not always roses and sunshine, but despite all of that, we do it together. Um it's family, it's community, it's unity. Unity commands blessings. So it's the blessing that comes with being part of a unified community with people who just love you and have your back, and would do anything for you that would make your life easier or make it better for you. And me wanting to do the same as well, because I feel I'm part of something greater. Yeah.
Oh, you are the greater in the something greater. This next question is for Mr. Console, and then I don't know if Jason's back. We'll ask him the same one. So, Mr. Console, you've been listening to these kind of criteria for collaboration from Mrs. Funk, and maybe in them it's like being recognized, being seen, uh, being appreciated. And obviously, like Bolin comes up on stage, and he just like freely speaks, and he just like flits from everything that is special to him in his life. What is it that you think is a healthy environment, for collaboration? Yeah, that's the question. What is it that creates an environment where people feel safe and loved and appreciated and respected and honored? Like what creates that?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, hellos. I wasn't here last Tuesday. I nearly missed it today because I was looking for the link on Sir Choice's account, but then I had messaged him asking him, hey, what is going on? If you get the link, just drop it my way. And he was courteous to do so. I'm happy to be here. I will say, to answer your question, Uncle Funk, towards what makes collaboration really thrive is an environment that has some sort of fairness. And that fairness could stem from regulation or a gentleman's honor. But if you're in an ecosystem that has a lot of distrust and a lot of, I'm not sure if on your part, your party will push on the deliverables we've agreed upon, that might make collaboration just falter and kick off on the wrong note. So, to answer you briefly, I think a good regulatory climate or a good ecosystem that, preaches on transparency as well as honors the code and the agreements written or signed is just the basis we all need in order to collaborate. If not, there's no need to collaborate at all. The friendships that you have end up boiling into toxicity, which burns bridges when in fact we're collaborating to build bridges. That would be my brief answer. Happy to hear you as well, Mr. Uncle Funk. You're a bit choppy, I must say, but you're still coming through clearly and as eloquently as ever.
Just for the record, I hate iPhone. This is on an iPhone. Everything else works. iPhone, I hate you. Have a nice day. Jason, your thoughts on everything you've heard and collaboration in general, and what has made you feel all special and loved?
My thoughts on collaboration in general. Is there a specific on this, or just I don't know my
think
approach
just-
and how?
Well, I mean, why you feel, you seem to feel special and appreciated and loved in our ecosystem. Like, what is making all of this possible?
Well, you feel special when you're surrounded by special people, and you feel special when you're surrounded by special people that acknowledge you, make you feel a part of something, see your efforts, and people aren't driven by egos. Totally the opposite. Everyone wants to make those around them better and feel good about what they're doing. So it's more uplifting than anything else. And as to, I mean, that goes a lot deeper, right? It's like there has to be a lot of emotional output there. You have to, what is that? EQ. It's not just IQ, it's EQ. And you have to be able to give as much as you can take. If not, it doesn't quite work. And that energy comes back in droves when done right in the right environment. And I would say that we have one of the most special environments that I've ever been a part of. And as to collaboration, it's being able to see what can be beyond the what is right there in front of you. Like, if you can see the immediate value in a person, great. Don't hang around, don't wait. Build upon that. It's like when I met you, Andrew, for the first time, I saw there is an immediate value to this person as a human being in my life in some way. Immediately booked in a meeting to get to know, understand, and then move forward as to wherever that could go to. And the same is applied to business. I had a meeting with a fantastic group earlier that I mentioned at the very beginning, just before I had to drop out. Saw not the value of just what was presented, but what it could mean to us in the future by providing the future studios that come into our ecosystem with a truly, and based on the true principles of Web3 and fundraising and access and community building, the tools to help others. And so whenever we meet people, it's about seeing the relationship potential in the individuals, in the growth of the network, and treating them like you would love to be treated yourself. And generally that kind of energy, if it's not immediately met, there's nothing to be had there. But if that energy, and they pick up on your energy, and all of a sudden it's a fun vibe, that's fantastic, because you know that you should pursue that. Collaboration is just understanding where potential is, being able to identify it and being able to pursue it, or having, what it takes to pursue it to make it a reality.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. My final question is for Senior Choice.
Bring it on.
So, Senior Choice, does it not feel terrible if there's people who are so rude that they'll rug you before you get a chance to answer a question?